Australia has twice used Nauru as the remote site of the offshore processing of people who seek asylum and protection. What has begun as a political response to the arrival of a boat on Australia's northern horizon has metamorphosed into the standing permanent policy with the support of the country's major political parties. It is current government policy that no person who arrives in the country by boat seeking asylum is ever settled in Australia. Instead, they are sent to Nauru or Papua New Guinea, Mammoth Island, so no genuine resettlement ever took place.
They fall outside of the scope of the government statistics, but remain stuck on the tiny island. The travel documents some have been issued are not travel documents at all. They do not allow their holders to travel anywhere. 77% of those forcibly sent by Australia to Nauru have been found to be refugees. They have a well-founded fear of persecution and are legally owed protection. But no refugees will be permanently resettled on Nauru. The island's government has refused to let anyone stay longer than 5 years, so other places will need to be found.
The conditions were shocking, in all of the compounds. There were marquee tents, so those tents were not designed for habitation. They were designed for events and for catering. There were literally like 40 to 50 men, and you could smell it when you walked past.
So I want to know my future. I want to know where I'm going to end up.
So far, the Australian government has found the only one country willing to take part in this state-sponsored country shopping, and it is Cambodia. At a cost of $40 million, it managed to resettle only one person, a single man.
The camps were designed to be punitive, to discourage anybody from seeking shelter in Australia by boat.
We will decide who comes to this country and the manner in which they come,
John Hallwood said, as he made this policy the highlight of his re-election campaign.
The first Nauru regime ran until 2007. The camp was overwhelmed by problems. Overcrowded tents and a shortage of water were the most pressing. Slowly, it was established that those who had come on boat were not criminals, but rather people experiencing persecution. Most were resettled and mostly in Australia. However, Nauru, a small island, has been used twice as a place to detain people seeking asylum. The reason of the policy change was the increase of the number of boats arriving, along with concerns about deaths in the sea. So Nauru and Mammoth Island, which were previously closed down, were redeveloped at cost of billions of dollars.
The message is simple. If you come to Australia illegally by boat, there is no way you will ever make Australia home.
The problems are undiminished, but the second Nauru detention regime has been kept carefully hidden. Foreign journalists, a part of few selected reporters, are forbidden entry to the island. A media visa is a theoretical possibility for a price of $800 for an application, but requests from independent media organizations, even for a visa applications, are met with dead silence. Still, some information leaks out. Refugees and asylum seekers have their communications closely monitored, but still they speak out in letters and electronic messages, in shaky handheld phone videos, such as the horrific footage of Omid Masumani, who in protest against the conditions he was held, doused himself in petrol and set himself alight, burning to death. Dr. Peter Young, former psychiatrist responsible for the care of asylum seekers in Nauru, described the camps as inherently toxic and said the immigration department deliberately harmed vulnerable detainees in a process akin to torture. Also, you are very likely to carry a prison sentence up to 2 years if you are a staff member who makes an unauthorized disclosure and speaks publicly about conditions in the camps. But while a new law have had a chilling effect on some, many former and current staff continue to speak out. Like the traumatologist and psychologist Paul Stevenson told The Guardian that in 40 years working with the victims of terrorist attack and natural diseases, the conditions in Nauru and Manus camps were the most cruel he had ever seen.